Well, it does appear we are here for another episode of HO News Weekly, where Robert Fish,
Whoop.
where Robert Fish and I talk about the latest HO issues and conversation in the HO slot car world. And today we are being joined by Harry.
Hi guys.
Harry, want to tell us where you're from? Just quickly your YouTube channel and so forth.
YouTube channel is Scaled Slot Cars. I'm based in Latvia. I'm Irish, but I live in Latvia now 9 years.
Nice.
So mainly do 132, 124, and Career to Go content. But Dan has me interested in HO as well.
So, if you're wondering why it is Harry's here, and that's mainly because he's our guest for today, and he's also my co-host for Wednesday night Slot Car Live. For us, that's this one is the HO News Weekly, and the one that me and Harry are doing is Slot Car Weekly itself. So, it sounds pretty confusing, I guess, but ideally they're both slot car shows and they both essentially go through the same list of stuff, just in its own category. That's all. So we want to thank everyone for being here today. And today we're going to go over a little bit about the new Auto World cars. We've delved into what Auto World will be doing with their new chassis. We are taking a look at the brand new releases from Auto World. We will be having a look at what they have to offer for slot cars this particular month. Not that these particular sets will be coming out this month, but Auto World, I guess, just needs something to say because they haven't had much to say in regards to slot cars, HO style, in quite a while. So let's see who's in the house for now. William, thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate it. Welcome. And I see we do have Robert Fish in the house. Thanks for joining us, Robert. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right. So, yeah. So, without further ado, let's get into that video of the Auto World. It's 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. Sorry for all you people who have short attention spans, but hang in there. You're going to like this one. Oh, and before we get going, let's say hi to OYD Slot Cars. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Here we go. Got here just in time to see the Auto World new releases for this month. So let's have a look at that now, guys. Where the heck am I here? Here we go. All right. So, oh,
So jumping into the slot cars.
All right. Hang on a sec. All right. That's not it. There we go. This one. Oh my gosh.
Hey, and welcome to Auto World.
We got it.
Jumping into the slot cars, I mentioned two slot cars.
Okay, here we go, guys.
An all-new chassis, which we'll talk about. And in model kits, we talked about the Peterbilt 359. This first one is the Gold Rush release. Go for the gold.
It's the dump trucks,
these
guys.
Are featuring our Peterbilt 359 cabs with dump truck beds. It's been a long time, probably 10 years since we brought out this dump truck.
They look great.
Our truck slot car sets have been doing really well. We talked about some of the Loves ones we've done. We've done several other variations. You guys have really wanted the racing rigs type slot cars. And so this one is Gold Rush. It's based on, of course, dump trucks digging for gold. They're racing around the quarry and trying to get the most gold they can. So you got two teams racing against each other, Nugget Mining and the Hard Rock Mine. And again, as I mentioned, this is our AMP extraction chassis that's included in here. These are new chassis that we've developed. We have versions for every different body type. Our extraction Super 3, 4 gears, whatever we've got, there's an AMP variation for it. AMP is accelerated modern performance, so this features an inline electric motor that rev up really fast, and we're bringing them out in slot car sets only, starting out with. We're still going to keep doing all of our regular classic style chassis as well, but again, this is a really exciting new thing that we're working on here. This is an 18-foot set, a lot of cool features included in this set. Again, a little bit about gold being rare and precious. We've got it done up as a dirt style track, so it's got that
As
kind of
a
clay or dirt
Johnson.
track that
Did
comes
he
with
say
it in that
Johnson?
brown color. Of course, it includes speed controllers, power pack, and some
I
cardboard.
feel like there's an
stand-ups,
Austin
different
Powers joke
digging
in here
equipment
somewhere.
included here for the Gold Rush. So again, like I mentioned, a lot
Clever
of these
track
trucks have
design.
been doing really well.
Very
Excited to
clever.
see what you guys
Wow.
think of this,
Catchy.
and to try out the new AMP chassis. And then the next set we
Nice
have,
looking trucks.
this is a huge one,
Yeah.
28 feet long.
20.
Blues Brothers 106 miles to Chicago set. So
Wow.
this is a great one for the holidays. It's been a while since we've done a really big set like this. So this one also is featuring our AMP extraction versions of the chassis, and we're doing, of course, the Dodge Monaco Bluesmobile. This one having the megaphone.
But when he says for the holidays, does he mean Christmas?
Car that comes with the set as well.
Yeah.
We've gone
Next
through
year.
and really designed the track around the movie. So there's a lot of cool features in this track. There's a lot of stand-ups, so you can see the skyline, raised music. You can see the orphanage
28
that's
feet.
within it, and then also the layout of this track. The
It's
features even
huge.
kind of go throughout the movie, so you can see all the different layouts you can do here. But a look, Wacker Drive. You can see the skyline again, the 95th Street Bridge, and seeing the layout. So you can really see it. We've actually made a tiered system so that it's like the scene where they're driving through Lower Wacker. Again, the jump is replicating the bridge jump from the movie.
Oh, look at
So a
all
lot
that
of cool
track.
tie-ins.
Holy
Again,
mackerel.
106 miles to Chicago. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Really excited for this set to come out. So that's everything that we've got. Again,
Buffalo, and we're in a truck,
holidays
and we don't
for
give up,
November.
and we're off to the rodeo. Yeehaw! So, what do you guys think of that? Those. Let's start up first off. Wow, they look great. Let's talk about the semis first off. Robert, what was your first impression of this?
Well, I'm really happy to see them doing some trucks again, some dump trucks. I mean, like, it has actually been 15 years since they brought any out.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
think they look really great. I mean, they look racy.
Yeah.
For myself, I've always wanted these to come out, and they just never have come out since I've been like a hardcore collector. So it's just never been a thing for me. Harry, what do you think? I know you're not an HO collector, but what do you think of the design and the look of it? This is a good. Okay, hang on a sec, Harry. Sorry. This is a great example of somebody who's in slot cars but not in HO, and Harry's opinion is very respectable in this regard because he just takes his knowledge of large scale and he just drives it home to HO. So once again, Harry, what is your thoughts on the first truck set? Dump trucks.
Absolutely, I love the trucks.
Yeah.
I think the trucks look fabulous, and I already had a these. If I had something like that, I wouldn't just leave them. I'd probably paint them in different colors. You know, I'd probably spray them or something. But they look great. I love the six wheel drive. You know, the six wheels on the trucks. And it reminds me years ago when I saw the AFX cab units with the trailers on them that AFX did.
Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with those trucks. Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So Todd from Toju Slot Car Racing's here. Thanks for joining us, Todd. And so is Dennis Osborne. Dennis, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, trucks are awesome. They look great. I think they'll do really good. I think have a good feeling about these trucks looking great. Yeah, I agree with that. That's absolutely the case. I do believe. They look good. Sure is a lot of track. They sure are giving out a lot of track here, people. It's very noticeable. Is the first thing I caught, especially if you're looking at the track we'll talk about next. That is an amazing amount of track for a 2-lane layout. It's been a while since that kind of track was available, but so yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the Blues Brothers now. Of course, they're all still on that very same chassis, exactly the same. It's just their version of the extraction chassis. Robert, what do you think about the Blues Brothers, the whole scenario with the layout, all the cardboard bits? And
I think it's really cool. I really like it. Of course, I'm a Blues Brothers fan from way back, so I mean,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to purchase the speaker car for sure. I have the other one, and it's going to be a nice addition to the collection. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Harry, what do you think about the second set with the 28 feet and the Blues Brothers car?
My honest opinion. I
No,
love
let's
the
hear it.
track.
Let's hear it, man. Let's hear
I
it.
love the, I love the track. I love the size of the track is amazing. Yeah, fantastic. But
Yes.
I'm not into movie cars, and I love the film, The Blues Brothers, amazing film. I'm not into police cars. I'm not into movie cars. So those particular cars, I mean, I'd be happy with the chassis, and I'd probably change the body.
Right. Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough, right? We all have our things. Um, Doug from Magnetic Racing, thanks for joining us, Doug.
Hey,
Uh,
Doug.
I was just flashing the light that I built from you guys here. I don't know if you noticed or not, but awesome, awesome work. Um, yeah, so for myself, I think the amount of track is kind of kind of phenomenal, actually, when you think about it. 28 feet, that is a very, very large track. That is definitely on the longer scale for any HO. I think it's time to redo the HO track list to buy list. That's still one of my better videos, and it really goes over everything, all the tracks that are to offer in both AFX and Auto World. And I think it may be time to redo that. But like I said, I will be buying the truck set. So I will be going live with all this on the track, live on the track. And once again, Spot Valley Racing is no more the HO track. I've torn it apart. There's only a super speedway now, and I'm preparing to digitize it. So yeah. So let's have a look now at the difference in the chassis. We've taken a little bit here to make some.
your sound seems to be breaking up a bit, Dad.
Yeah, your audio may be a bit closer to the mic, possibly.
Yeah, tuck it in there. Belly up to the mic.
All right.
That's better.
Are you lonesome tonight?
You
No.
will be after that. Everybody, everybody go. I'm off to get my tea.
That calls for a drink.
It's like, how do I sound? How do I sound now?
You're okay. I
All
hope.
right. Okay, so maybe I do have to be a little closer. I tend to float away every once in a while, but you know, there are various reasons for that. None of which we're going to get into on a Slot Car show. Okay, so let's have a look. And where did it? I thought I loaded those. I did. Okay, let's have a look at the chassis. Gonna have. There we go. There it is. And okay, so here are the chassis. We'll have a quick look at them. Whoop. Let's get rid of that. Hide the comment. There we go. Okay, so me and Robert were talking about the size of the can motor that are going into these particular products. Now, B4 slot is something that we have not spoken much about before, but this type of chassis absolutely fits with these other two styles. Now, of course, the top one is the B4 slots Ultra 5. And it's the super slimline cut. This would probably be more of a can motored T-Jet style chassis. Now you can see the one underneath it is the new Auto World chassis. That's the new AMP. You can see how they have their setup and their can motor. And we were talking about the quality and look of the builds. Now, the B4 slots chassis has a really nice tight looking build to it. It looks really good. The Auto World chassis, you can see it's very thick and it still needs, I hope, what is going to be a little bit refining. And the can motor is it seems to be very large for this size of product, but we don't know yet. And like Auto World said, this could change. This could change very easily. And of course, on the bottom, we have the 1.5 or the 1.7. It doesn't really matter. It's an AFX Race Masters product. AFX Race Masters, very important. AFX made a lot of chassis over the years, and it is always important to make sure that you use Race Masters because this is a Race Masters chassis. So what we have here is you can see the design's really a lot more streamlined. The chassis itself is thinner. On this particular one, it has the clip, although on the 1.5, the shells have been coming with the clip already attached inside of them. So this would be a good example of the chassis. This one has a clip inside of it already, and you can see the one there is for a GT40, which is this one here. And it needs that clip because the chassis, the narrow chassis, and they didn't build the GT40s with the built-in clip. I don't know why. I do not know why. But they both operate the same, of course, one with the clip, one without. So the difference we found was there's a little bit of a quality look difference to it, and just how they're going about doing things. So that's where we are right now. Let's flick down and catch up. Oh, right on. Yeah, you see this I like to see. Doug, yeah, absolutely fantastic, brother. Absolutely. And maybe I can shoot by some ideas for my switch for a digital HO track. Maybe I can run some ideas by you if you got a few moments, brother. I'd appreciate it. Because you did the same thing with the wood routed track. So this is just the same thing, just smaller. So yeah, cool. Yeah, that's I appreciate it. The world totally needs more HO stuff. Like there's not a whole heck of a lot of good quality HO stuff. The larger scale guys have actually been pretty lucky to have such great companies making fantastic looking stuff for them. Like Chris Freder, I don't know if you guys just seen his bumper cars, or I can't remember what they call it in Europe. Bumpums, bagums, bumpums, but whatever. He did a fantastic job. It looks completely awesome. Completely awesome. Yeah. So yeah, it was just stuff like that. Really nice. The realism, bring out the realism. Everybody knows me. I'm completely all for realism, and so Easy's in the house. Thanks for joining us, Easy. Awesome, brother.
Easy.
Bauer does not use Auto World chassis. Auto World chassis would be a lower level than Bauer. Bauer's a bit more quality, I would have to say. Robert, what do you think about that?
Yeah, over the years, they've typically used Aurora or AFX chassis.
Okay, so here's a good. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Well, that summed it up completely.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about chassis sizes, or pardon me, when we're talking about motor sizes, okay. Sorry, I shouldn't be jumping around here. Before, we already mentioned has the long plug-in style motor, the CAN motor, and this is what it looks like right here. Let me just switch this quickly. So this is what the CAN motor out of the B4 looks like. Now, it is a little bit longer, okay? It's not short like this, but this is another rounder, flatter style CAN motor. Compared, if you look at the Auto World and the AFX CAN motors, they're more like dimes. They're round and chunky, where this is more streamlined. So this is one of the motors I'll be using for the digital slot car build. Another one, I guess. I've already done 6 of them. So I'm just trying out to see which connection works best to make the car run smoothly on the track. Because the problem is with the AFX cars is every time they hit a rough patch and the shoe disconnects from the track, even for a moment, it stops the digital signal and literally the tire skids very briefly. But you could literally see the car chugging at high speed, and it chugs. It's like the brakes go on for just a brief second when it hits a rough spot on the track. So that one rail that I'll be testing the digital on again for like the third time. This time, I will be putting I'll be putting copper tape on the rail, on those two rails that I'll be running doing the digital test with. I'm curious to see if this will help the signal be a lot smoother, because right now, like I said, every time it hits a bump, it just causes a very a small chug. It looks like it's and then carries on. It's barely anything, but it's enough that if you're trying to have it run smoothly, it's not enough. Yeah. So, Dodgems. Yeah, Dodgems. That's bumper cars. That's what we call them here.
Yeah,
Yes.
just
OYD. I have I've been doing it for quite a long time now on my Carrera track, and it's even at the point where my HO cars, my digital HO cars, are able to run the switchers on the Carrera track as well. So I run the HO digital cars just like I run my normal 1/32 digital cars. So yeah, I guess the answer to that is never on a 130, never on a 143 track, so a Go track, because I've just always owned the Carrera Digital. So
I'm sure they'd run okay on the 143rd track.
oh yeah, no, they run absolutely great. Me and Robert were talking about that. If you wanted to buy a track specifically, like if you said I really love HO and I want to carry on with my thing, but I want to make it better for yourself. If I were you, I would go buy a Carrera Go track, and I would use your HO cars on the Carrera Go track, because a modern HO track is inadequate. At the very least, it is inadequate because the modern here. This is a 1/60th car. This is not 1/64. This is 1/60th. And the reason I know that is because if this were a true 1/64 car, I would not be able to get that chip in there. Because the Camaro and the Mustang are the only cars that I can chip because of how big they are. That's a true statement. They're 1/60th. So it's always very close. Yeah. So new to H. Oh yeah. Well, anything you need to know, Doug, throw it out there, brother. We take questions. No big deal. Or you can send me a message at any point in time. Anything at all. If I don't have the answer, I can certainly find it HO-wise.
I suppose, Dan, you would need to change your power supply with the Carrera Go track, because it wouldn't be enough for those little HO cars. They run quite a high voltage, don't they?
Yeah, but they no. Well, this is true. They can. People run just like it's exactly the same as Evolution for Carrera, right?
Yeah.
Your non-digital cars, it's exactly the same. Evolution is just bigger. So when you think about it, you run those Evolution cars at 14.6, right?
14.8.
Right, 14.8. Okay. Now, an AFX car will go around the track at the exact same speed. It just looks faster because it's smaller.
Yeah.
But it's the same speed. I worked it out. The CAN motor in the Carrera car goes as fast as the CAN motor in the AFX car at 14.6.
Yeah.
The difference is purely in how many volts you put in that tiny little motor, right?
Yeah.
So you put an 18 volt in that tiny, tiny little car, and it looks like it's on fire, and there's an insane monkey driving it. Well, true, there probably would be an insane monkey driving it if I was the one holding the controller. But but it's all about the speed and the perception of speed for size, right? So Carrera car and an AFX car, and this is the misconception, and me having both sets, I can honestly say both cars are moving at their same general speed for the size of the motor. The Carrera motor itself looks exactly like, unfortunately, looks exactly like the motor they're putting in the new Auto World car. Almost, I shouldn't say exactly. It looks very close. It's got that same chunky build to it. AFX is more streamlined and has that green cap. I don't know what it is about the green cap. Maybe it makes it look a little more legit or whatever. Like, like, oh, what makes this so important looking? The green top? I don't know. But it does.
It's a bit more refined looking.
It
That's all
does.
to it, and it looks like it has a bit of quality to it.
And it's much smaller as well, too.
It seems to be, yeah.
Yeah, compared to the AFX one. Yeah. So, Harry, I know you're new to this. Any questions about anything we're talking about right now?
No, just very interested in, again, the fact that you're able to run these on the. I run them on my 124 Carrera track, and so you can run them, as you said, you can run them on the go. You can run them on the. So I'm sure you can run them on the Scale Electrics track. You can run them on the Polycar track. So
Yeah.
there's loads of options there, really. And the only thing was, I found on the 14.8, I could only get this to D-slot on one corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
because those magnets are made for like an 18 volt.
Yeah. So that's why I was mentioning maybe a little bit extra power would bring the driver skills into it a little bit more.
Absolutely would. With if you have aftermarket power supply at one time, I'm sure you'll buy it, or if not, no big deal. But like I said, how fast that car will go is 100% how many volts you're putting into the motor, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. The 14.6 gives you a decent driving experience. You're right. It'll never leave the track, but it sure does look cool racing around in an area where you never thought you would even do that. Like, did you ever thought you would run a HO car on your track?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah. So,
that's the first, guys. Dan sent me this a few weeks ago.
Hang on a second.
A couple of months ago, and it took a month to get to me. But Dan sent me this one, and I when I first ran it around my Carrera track, I was very impressed. It's very smooth. It sounds very quiet, and it's a little flyer. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing a review on it, so I was impressed. That's the first time I've ever run a HO car. So.
Yeah, well, you see, that's something that I've always done. I give away lots of free slot cards because I want people to experience HO. Even with me doing HO and Carrera now, I still enjoy HO. And like I said, Easy, if you're still in the house, I still do plan on sending you this. Obviously, I haven't reviewed it yet, but the moment I review it, I will be sending it away for you. So, and of course, like I said, I'll be sending a second car in. So you and Colt can do your HO racing thing on your Scalextric track. I could be wrong, but if you're still here, tell me what you got in the comment section. So,
but I have to say, these little HO cars. I mean, again, that one, I love them. I mean, that looks fabulous.
Oh yes. So the last car that Harry showed you, the F1, was the red car. Oh,
Wolf livery. It looks amazing.
And this that was an AFX product. This is Auto World product. It's an extraction chassis with the Golf livery on the GT40. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And Harry, if you take the AFX pin out of the other car and put it in that one, you could run that one too. But like I said, that's more of a shelf queen for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it though, bro. It's yours. You can, if you want to.
For such a small scale. And one thing that struck me was that these little tiny cars, they actually put clear windows in them, which gives them a bit of realism. Where the
Yes,
Carrera Go and the SCX compact cars, they just have blacked out windows, and you lose that little bit of realism.
that's right. I totally agree with that. Yeah.
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 And it's, the realism is what really brings us to our purchases of slot cars. It's exactly like when we if you ever purchased a new car, like with 100% you're going to buy what you want kind of vehicle, right? This tells a lot about us when we buy a brand new vehicle and you have the choice of color, what interior goes in it. That car certainly does, or vehicle certainly does reflect on you personally, but it shows your taste and your qualities and what you want in your vehicles, right? For me, I like the look of the realism of the Revo slots, of course, you know,
Yeah.
got the got the Golf livery close at hand all the time now, just because it's such a beautiful looking car and it looks great on the track. So, and of course, those two cars in particular will be the cars me and Irene will be racing in our first night series. So, yeah,
I know what you mean about the clear windows, though, Harry, because AFX for a while there, they were just painting the windows. The same with Lifelike, right? It makes a big difference. You wouldn't think it, but yeah,
It really does, yeah. The Carrera Go, and I love them, and the SCX Compact, I love them too. But they look really tie-like with just the black plastic windows.
yeah,
You lose a little bit of the quality look. I mean, I'm sure if Carrera Go is their biggest seller for Carrera, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't up the game a little bit and increased the quality of them.
yeah.
Even if it's a paper interior, put an imitation interior and clear windows, and I'd buy a lot more.
Right, exactly like what AFX does. They put in the paper interior, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, here's your general AFX car on a 1.5 chassis. Of course, it's a GT40. This is probably my favorite one. But here's the insert I was talking about. You can see it right there,
Yeah,
and it's really nothing special, guys. I'll show you what it looks like from this side. Okay, it just looks like this. You
yeah,
can see there's like a fake harness and a fake steering wheel. And if you look at the back, there's a fake motor where my hand is.
yeah.
You
It
know,
makes a
but what?
huge difference.
Yeah,
so
when you glance at this car, okay, there are the clips I was talking about too. You can see how these clips are built in.
yeah.
They're already there. And for this insert, it just goes in between there, just like that. And the look is amazing. Look at that motor in the car all of a sudden. Oh, now you can
Yeah,
see someone's harness and a steering wheel.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So it doesn't have to be perfect, just at a glance. And this one was one of the ones that Steve from Stockpile Hobbies put a light on for me. Now, this is before I started doing that myself, but Steve did a really great job, and this car looks super cool flying around the track with the light on.
Right.
Robert, you were showing me something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an example of a painted window that I find is,
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't do anything for you, right?
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that's my opinion.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Joe. So you have 80 feet of Ninko track. That would be good track to do just analog stuff on as well too. It's not as wide as Carrera, and it's still pretty good. Yeah. And okay, so now of course we do nothing here without deep dives, and it wouldn't be a show unless we had a closer look at said Auto World chassis. Today we'll be having a look at how it connects to the track. We have some quick diagrams here that will show what's going on in relation to the car on the track. There's that one and that one.
I have a new
Okay.
for you.
Sorry?
I have a newbie question for you.
Okay, fire away.
The Auto World cars, when they say amp extraction, what is that talking
That's
about?
their new come on, they always say it. He says it in the he says it, we'll watch the video super quick. It's this new word they've come up with. That's why nobody really remembers it, but he does
Okay.
say it at the beginning of the video. So we'll watch the video again super quick right after this. But first off, here's so this is the shoe, the pickup shoe for the new Auto World car. And this is how they have it configured this go round. So it'll actually be a pressure pad, sort of like a pressure pad, I guess. And what'll happen is obviously as it goes along the track, that'll get compressed. All right. And it'll look like this. So we start off like this, and then it just gets pushed down, and the spring just gets loaded into the shoe spring housing, I guess is probably what we'll be calling it by then. So that's what it'll look like. Now let's have another just super quick here.
So jumping into the slot cars, I mentioned 2 slot car sets coming out, an all-new chassis, which we'll talk about, and in model kits, we talked about the Peterbilt 359. This first one is the Gold Rush release. Go for the gold. And these are featuring our Peterbilt 359 cabs with dump truck beds. It's been a long time, probably 10 years.
Gosh, I
since
love
we
this
brought
set.
out this dump truck. Our truck slot car sets have been doing really well. We talked about some of the Loves
Big
ones we've
Jim.
done. We've done several other
There you go.
variations. You guys really wanted the racing rigs type slot cars. And so this one is Gold Rush. It's based on, of course, dump trucks digging for gold. They're racing around the quarry and trying to get the most gold they can. So you got 2 teams racing against each other, Nugget Mining and the Hard Rock Mine. And again, as I mentioned, this is our amp extraction chassis that's included in here. These are new chassis that we've developed. We have versions for every different body type. Our extraction Super 3, 4 gears, whatever we've got, there's an amp variation for it. Amp is accelerated modern performance. So this
There we go. Accelerated modern performance. Wow. Catchy term for
Yeah, for changing the chassis.
yeah. But that's okay. It does sound catchy. Accelerated modern performance.
At least they're working on something. Can you tell me Auto World stuff? Do they sell to Europe as well? Do they have suppliers in Europe? Do you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I believe that is what the case is. They do. They sell everywhere. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Auto World or AFX, or I guess if you're in Europe, you could be dealing with Bauer, but Bauer is a little more costly. But
Yeah.
with Bauer, it's just like when you buy a Revo compared to a Carrera, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've seen AFX for sale. I've seen AFX for sale in Europe, but I haven't seen Auto World yet.
They're not as big, I don't think, in Europe.
No.
They're just barely here, right? They're
Yeah.
big, fairly big in the States. They're kind
If you're in Europe, you're probably ordering them from eBay, or you're just having them sent from the States
yeah.
or Canada. Probably the States, though. I don't know.
Well, there may be some hobby shops and stuff that do import them, but I don't think they're that common over in Europe.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm sure somebody must be. Probably Nico, I bet, would know who's dealing with HO cars in Europe.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I would almost say he does know, so.
I know Union don't. They have AFX, but they don't have Auto World cars.
Yeah.
Right. And that's auto, it depends.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, different people buy off different companies, and you might find, I don't know, maybe Pendle Slot in the UK, maybe they have Auto World stuff. I don't know. I haven't checked.
There seems to be some Auto World down in Australia, so I mean it is.
Yeah. There's there is a distributor for AFX and Auto World cars in Australia. That I do know. Yeah. Yeah, but nothing in Canada though, because I guess we're not big enough.
Yeah, The Bauer cars, their new before chassis is kind of it's an exclusive for them. It's the first time that I know that they've actually done their own chassis. As
Right.
far as I know, they've always used either AFX chassis or sometimes they've used dashed, I believe.
Yeah.
Could be wrong about that, but
Yeah.
mostly it's AFX.
All right.
The Sky Electrics, they have a micro. Is that a 164 car?
It's a bit larger.
Yeah, and they're also only like 6 or 8 watts or something.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the case. They're useless for anything that we would want to use them for.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think you could put that on your track. It would probably kill the motor right away because of it being overpowered. Like,
It'll nuke down the track for one very quick drag run and then
yeah, right.
burst into flames.
Yeah. Smoke out the back, sparks flying everywhere. Yeah, that would be a great video, man. Right on. Okay, now little I'd like to just talk a little bit about hobby supplies and tech. It's not a normal thing we do, although we may get into it if there are certain things that we come across that work really great or what have you. Today, I'm going to feature the isopropanol only because there are so many various percentages of isopropanol, and I feel that our hobby are not using the percentages correctly. So I had a conversation with somebody who was having problems removing things, and they decided to use a completely toxic thing, and what that product was doesn't matter. But I'd asked him, I said, did you try using 99% isopropanol? And the guy said, yeah, I did, and proceeded to send me a picture of 91% isopropanol. Now, the difference between isopropanols is their percentage, okay? It probably starts with 60%. You can buy at it's 60% would be for just sterilizing stuff. Anything up to 91% is only for sterilizing. You wouldn't be using it for trying to remove anything. Uh, the reason being is 91 or anything less has too much water. What happens is the isopropanol evaporates almost immediately, and you're left with water. Water gets between the isopropanol and whatever you're trying to clean, and you'll find you get very little to no result. Now, when you use 100% isopropanol, now I should say not 100 because 100 you couldn't make 100.
You're breaking up a bit.
You probably wouldn't be using 100 because they don't make 100. They make 99%. When you use 99%, there is only 1% of water between you and the cleaning product. This is what you would be using, and this says 99. Now, when I say, tell me about your 99% isopropanol, and you show me a picture of anything less than 99%, it's not cleaning properly. You're only sterilizing. You may notice a little bit of color rub, but I can get a color rub with just water, never mind isopropanol. The strongest stuff and the only stuff that removes paint, especially the product in question, they wanted to take the writing and the lettering off this AFX track, this orange track, just like this, exactly the same thing. They showed me their 91% isopropanol, told me that basically that in their mind is 99%, and then went off about how it didn't clean anything or do what they wanted it to. So remember, guys, if it's not 99%, it has too much water. The alcohol will evaporate long before the water does. Okay? Yes. That's exactly correct. But obituary, you got it correct. Absolutely. Has to be the 99. There's no other way of looking at it. And you do need a little elbow grease. Like I mentioned, you probably just use a little paintbrush or just set the sponge with a little bit of ISO on top of it for a sec, just to let it go. Instead, they're using a highly toxic product, which requires these days, I don't even know if they sell this product anymore, but 99% is much different than 91. That's all I'm saying, guys. So I guess on Hobby Corner today, nothing removes like 99%, and nothing sterilizes like anything less. So, oh, and to that person, schooled. In order to be schooled, you would have to teach me something that I just taught you. Schooled. Anyways, so that's the deal with that. So remember, guys, and you could probably pick this up at you probably pick this up at your local pharmacy, or maybe even paint. I know I used to get isopropanol 99% from the paint warehouse. Comes in a big big container. Nobody would ever need the amount that I was buying, but I was using it for cleaning lots of various stuff. So yeah. So okay. Well, that brings that to a close. And so for everybody, just remember, it has to be 99, guys. If you're using it to remove anything, 99. If it's not 99, find something else.
Well, they use that for cleaning crime scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, they could use 60% to clean crime scenes.
I was just wondering why you were buying such a big can.
Oh. Hey, don't tell anybody.
Oh.
Damn it, man. Next thing you're going to do is call me Dexter.
That should last a lifetime, Dad.
It should.
Unless
I know Dexter. So yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay, so where are we at now?
Yeah. So
I'm just.
You can't drink this, by the way, either, guys.
Yeah.
Your body instantly converts it to formaldehyde. So when it goes in your belly, it instantly turns to formaldehyde. So you know how toxic formaldehyde is, right? Well, if you'd like a big case of it, then I guess this is how you go about it. But I've never said that, and do not do that. I know I have to say that now because we all know the Auto World magnet problem, and you would think they never would have to say that either. Like, don't eat the frickin' magnets, people. Don't eat them. There's a reason why they're not cherry and vanilla flavored.
Yeah.
But now they're gluing them back in. I've already seen a few of them. Oh my gosh. When you have to tell growing people not to eat the magnets.
Well,
I don't know. I
assume the issue is not about grown people. It's about little people. But
little people, yeah.
I mean, those packages are so secure. I mean, you got to work to actually get into them. When they're hot sealed all around the package. I mean, it's not like a little person could just get at the magnets easily, right?
I think it's just a case of the manufacturers covering their ass as well. You have to be
yeah, for sure,
really careful. I mean, I remember when I was young, you get all sorts of products made of all sorts of plastics and lead paint and everything. And then all of a sudden, it was all this stuff was banned. It's like, oh, lead paint on toy soldiers. No, you can't sell them,
Yeah.
So
suddenly, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the odd kid was chewing on their toy soldiers. What could I say?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. We were all chewing on them. So I don't know. Maybe that's what's wrong with me.
Eat the head off your green army men.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
People, if there's a way to do something that's not right or that's going to harm you, we'll find it. We'll figure it out, and we'll do that, and then somebody will have to
Yeah.
Try to
Change.
fix our stupidity or our carelessness or whatever it is that
Hmm.
causes the situation. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, Harry, any more questions before we?
Not for me at the moment. I'm just taking in what you've told me today, which I've learned a lot, so that's great. And I'm very impressed with those sets. Those new sets, when will they be out? Are we talking a long time from now?
Around after in the new year, probably. Um,
Okay.
the Love's Trucking set is the new Love's Trucking set is apparently out now, uh, which is not something we talked about, but apparently it's out now because Brian at Pro Tinker tried to buy some, and unfortunately they were all sold out at a couple of locations that he went to. So
Couple locations he went to buy out. Let's get that right. Let's get that right. Someone beat him to it. He's like a Hot Wheels collectors that rip apart the boxes before they're able to put them on the shelf.
okay, well, I you know what? Yeah, I'm not going to go there. We've had our little bit of a
Yeah,
interaction over that over the in the past. So
that's right. Well, there's lots available, and everybody who wants one will end up getting one. That's the best part, you know.
uh,
So, everybody, we all do what we have to do, I guess. That's just how it boils down.
yeah, but really, I find it kind of disappointing that a lot of people that sell slot cars go to these stores and buy them up, right? I just, you know, it'd be nice if the public had a chance to get them without having to go through a specific slot car vendor who is
Right.
incidentally charging a whole lot more than what they would pay for at the Love's location, right?
Right. Well, it's a bit of a shame, yeah, in that regard, because the whole idea sort of is that somebody recognizes, oh, these look great. Maybe I want to buy my kids one for Christmas or some sort of gift, or maybe it just intrigues that 50-year-old guy, and there's 50 to 6. There's so many of us. Doesn't even have to be 50, but you know what I mean about people coming back to the hobby. It's something like that that'll say to somebody, because it was the exact same thing for me. I
It,
seen a video and was like, hmm.
it takes that opportunity for those young people to even see the set because it's not in the store anymore. Somebody
Right?
bought it. Now it's in somebody else's warehouse or store or garage, and
Yep.
you know,
And of course, there's lots of us who are old enough to remember the HO slot car heydays where Sears would have 10 to 12 different sets branded with their own name on them, and like many other companies had exactly the same type of deal with I guess it was Aurora and AFX at
yeah.
the time, uh, through the years. So
But it's like people trying to get their favorite, the most fancy wanted Christmas toy, and you can't find it in any of the shops. And then a few days before Christmas, they're on the internet and for sale at stupid prices
mm,
because
Yeah,
someone's bought them all up, and then they're flogging them last minute deal,
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. Hey, Randy, thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate it.
Well,
Yeah, so it's interesting, like what I would, I don't know why they're being just specifically sold in Lowe's stores.
well,
Or yeah, Love's, pardon me.
they are a Love special. Uh,
Right, then why isn't
right?
Love's
So,
making more of them?
yeah.
After the big, after how fast they sold the first go round?
Yeah, well, it's nice to see. So now they've got a truck set out. They just had the NASCAR set out, right?
Yeah, but Super 3s though, that was disappointing.
Uh, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But well,
That
no, they at least were the new Super Threes, which are
Yeah, they were fixed. Yeah,
better
they're
than the,
fixed. Yeah,
better than
yeah.
the old Super Threes, right? I mean, I'm not saying there's not room for improvement, but I'm saying there was some improvement at
Yes,
least.
there was. Yeah, absolutely there was, for sure. And it was really in the whole scheme of things, it was the pinion gear. That was the problem.
Bar
Really, I
Super
mean.
Threes.
It just yeah, the Super 3s. The pinion gear, they put out their first line of Super 3s and the pinion gear wasn't lining up.
What was this an
Here.
auto or car?
Yeah, this is what they look like. This is the detail.
Oh,
Beautiful
okay.
cars.
Looks
Beautiful.
great.
Here's the Jeff Gordon car, and here's here's the Jimmy Johnson car. Look at the detail.
Looks
Okay,
fabulous.
these
Yeah.
were Super 3 cars. Okay, Super 3 by Auto
Oh,
World. Here's how shitty they were. That's an
mhm.
AFX chassis underneath that absolutely awesome shell. And you know why? Because when AFX put out their NASCARs, they had no livery on them that looked like this at all. Nothing to do with NASCAR. They called them stalkers. So
Right.
it's the person peeping in your window while you're having a shower at night. That's what
Mhm.
AFX was selling.
Generic slot cars, right?
Yeah.
And well, okay, Auto World's also done it, but
Yeah.
you know, uh,
So, and when they're done right and they look good and they have nice livery, it doesn't matter that they're not NASCAR, but they should look like they've been in a race.
Yeah, if they're going to imitate something, they should imitate it well.
Yeah.
actually, uh, in Outer World's favor, the some of the generic cars that they did actually are pretty closely resemble real real racing teams, right? I mean,
Uh-huh.
you don't have to think too hard to try and imagine which cars they represent, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah, just by looking at it, yeah.
it's unfortunate that NASCAR is so into the branding and the marketing that
Yeah,
costs way too
they
much to do it.
closely guarded, aren't they? They won't give a license away very easily.
Yeah, it just becomes too expensive for everybody to try and buy these licenses. So
Okay, so here's the example between the two shells. This is the Auto World shell. Look at how nice the livery is on that. Here's the AFX shell. This is the Stalker. Nothing.
Yeah.
A
And is that
Ford and a
is that
Chevy
your black windows as well?
black. Yeah.
I mean, from a distance, it looks not too bad, right? But
Yeah.
uh, there's definitely a difference, though. The Outer World, like when Outer World does their bodies, when they're recreating a version of something, like for example, the drag cars, the funny cars,
Yeah.
the top fuelers. Excellent graphics. I mean, they're so realistic. It's amazing. Yeah, Dan's got all kinds of beautiful looking cars, and
Yeah.
those are exact replicas of the real thing, right?
Yeah.
I love
They look
I love that
spot
drag
on.
car. That
Down
drag
to
car.
down to the smallest decals or decals, as depending on where you live.
It's fabulous. Yeah.
Here's another one.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful. And was there a whole series of drag racing those? I've never seen those actually being drag
And
raced.
here's a Pro Stock.
Oh, there's quite a few of them out.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. I've never seen drag races at
No,
all. But
that's
I was
actually
out of the hobby for a number of years, and I was
that
never
was
into
actually a
hating
funny car, Dan.
What did I call it?
Pro stock.
Oh,
But
yeah, funny.
it's just an old school funny car. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
back in the '70s, probably, or something.
That's because I meant to pick this one up probably.
Could be. Nice.
aftermarket tires on that. Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
don't make enough pro stocks. I want to see some more pro stocks, really. I
That
love
car was
pro
part of
stock.
the 4 Gear challenge.
Yeah. Ah, yes. Nice.
Yeah.
You betcha. Yeah, they're nice looking cars. They sure do a very nice job on how the cars look. Of course, I got my Snap-on and Jags right there, still in the box. Yeah, and all my dragsters, and of
We have
course the top
Rahul.
fuels.
With Rahul after popping in from Conquest.
Huh. Hey, Raoul.
Hey, Rule, thanks for joining us, brother. I appreciate it. Welcome. Yeah, so oh, there we are. So yeah, so it's going to be really interesting to see what Auto World does with those two particular sets. So far, only two guys. Um, I'm very curious to see what's going to be happening, because if Auto World is now going to be putting these chassis under every single vehicle apparently they're producing, they've only announced 4 vehicles so far: 2 dump trucks and the Blues Brothers and a police car. So it almost makes you wonder. It almost makes you have to wonder what else is coming. Now, we know from Auto World themselves, their representatives saying that there will be no cars sold individually until obviously they go through. They're probably going to put only cars for sale in sets. So I'm getting the feeling that the first cars available will be attached to sets, which to me doesn't really matter, because I will be purchasing the trucks anyways for my private collection, and I will be using the track for part of my digital layout. Now, like I said, it's very possible that I could be printing brand new HO track very soon, but we need to get to that point first. So that's where we are. That's where I am. So Harry, any final words before we head her out? We're at 1 hour now, and well, that's
Well,
where
no,
we like to keep.
thanks for having me on the show, Robert and Dan. I appreciate it. Very interesting for me. A new type of slot car to be looking at, and yeah. Just a quick question: anyone still producing the tractor trailer units? Or are they all
Yeah,
history now?
yeah,
Yep.
you can still get them. If you look right here,
Hmm.
that's tractor trailer,
Yeah.
and you can see in the corner up here by my finger the
Mhm.
the Kiss semi truck, which was a re-release recently.
Okay, so they're still bringing them out. I thought something like that might look good fun on my 132 Carrera track. I thought that.
Oh, and of course, there's the one that I made, which is that one right there. If you can just see it right there. There it is.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
Yeah,
The love sets. One of the love sets we were talking about a few minutes ago is semi trucks.
semi trucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Super.
so
I'm gonna
I,
pull
I,
on.
don't, I don't think there's much chance you'll be able to get your hands on any of them, but
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
they're still being made.
I
And
know somewhere you can go to get one, but that's about all.
not for a decent price anyway. They're
Right, and let's be very clear with that.
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, there's a new s- there's a new set with dump trucks. Yes, there absolutely is. Just when this video is over, or just wind back to the very beginning, and we go through the Auto World video.
You have a picture of those the dump truck set, do you not, Dad? You can throw it up.
Not a picture. It was just well, I could do. Let me see. Yeah, I could probably.
I sent you one. I don't know.
But here.
So jumping into the slot cars, I mentioned 2 slot car sets coming out, an all-new chassis, which we'll talk about, and in model kits, we talked about the Peterbilt 359. This first one is the Gold Rush release. Go for the gold. And these are featuring our Peterbilt 359 cabs with dump truck beds. It's been a long time, probably 10 years, since we brought out this dump truck. Our truck slot car sets have been doing really well. We talked about some of the Loves ones we've done. We've done several other variations.
All right. So that's it. Obituary. If you didn't catch it, you can obviously catch the rest at the beginning of this particular video. Oh, something happened to my camera here. Crooked.
So
Um,
I had a question for everyone, kind of regarding that. It had to do with the track color. It looks to me like you're going to be getting a sandy colored track with that set. I was just wondering how the guys feel about the different colored tracks, right? Because
mm,
there's a few different colored tracks available now. Like there's
very good question.
the winter track, there's the desert track, I guess, the black track.
Yeah, they have the white one, the black one, the sandy colored yellowish one. They have the Hot Wheels colored one with the hot
Orange, yeah,
orange.
yeah. And
Um,
there was I believe, a lime green one also with the
Lime green with the rat fink.
I think, yeah.
So,
And I
so
think
if you had a very large track, you could do a 4 season track. You know,
yeah,
snow up one end, and autumn leaves in another part, and then
yeah.
sunshine.
I personally like how the white track looks.
Yeah, pretty cool looking the white track. I've
Oh,
seen
here we
that.
go. This is what we're talking about. I've had the rat fink track connected to the Outback. Nice. Connected to black. So that's 3 colors. Nice.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, as usual, I want to thank everyone for. Yeah. Let's. So, what do you guys think? Anybody who's still here, what do you think about colored track? Personally, I think if you want colored track, you could color it yourself. Unless, of course, it were like some specific Hot Wheels where it's like that really intense orange, and you're only using it for that. I don't know, but in the end, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. So for myself, I want to thank everyone for being here. This is episode number 2 of HO News Weekly. I guess we're going to be doing this bi-weekly. Or if there's something really evident that needs to be brought out right away, we'll always get right on that. No problems at all. So the next one will be 2 weeks from now. And if you guys have any ideas, anything you'd like, maybe you're an HO person and would like to join us and talk turkey, then send me a line and let me know what you think. Otherwise, Harry, I want to thank you for joining me here and with Robert today. I definitely appreciate it, bro, and I'm glad you're enjoying the little piece of HO that I've been able
Yeah,
to put
you're
on your lap.
teasing. He's been teasing me, everybody.
That's right. And for Robert, as usual, thank you. For those who don't know, I don't believe how you wouldn't know. Robert, of course, is one of my slot car gurus, and Robert, everything gets bounced off Robert. So you wonder sometimes, you may think, well, why is Robert here? Because let me tell you, folks, when you're not the smartest person in the room, you bring him with you.
I think that might be an over exaggeration.
Well, we like to pump up everybody and make their heads feel like they're Zeppelins.
Thank
But
you.
the problem with
appreciate
Zeppelin heads is they come crashing down every once in a while. All right, guys. Well,
thanks for coming, Harry.
as usual, have a good day, guys. We'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care, eh?
All the best, guys.